Good afternoon. Welcome to Salt Lake City Fire Station number 1. My name is Rusty McMicken, and I am the Assistant Chief of Administration for the Salt Lake City Fire Department. I'd like to thank the family and friends, the city leadership, colleagues, firefighters, and retired firefighters for their attendance today for the swearing in of Salt Lake City's 22nd Fire Chief Karl Lieb. During today's ceremony, we'll have a few words from Mayor Biskupski, followed by the oath of office and ceremonial pinning of the badge, and we will conclude with a few comments from Chief Lieb. Following the ceremony, we'll have light refreshments served in the rear of the bay, and the Chief will be available to answer any of your questions and take some comments. So without further ado, I'd like to turn the time over to Mayor Jackie Biskupski.
Thank you. This is exactly what I needed. It is so nice to be able to be here today to do such an honorable thing for our city. And it's exciting for this department to have leadership in place that is known, that is trusted, that works hard. So thank you everyone for being here. As mayor of one of the most important decisions I will make is my choice for fire chief. And for any city, public safety is job number 1. And every day, the brave individuals of the Salt Lake City Fire Department must be willing, ready, and able to put their lives on the line for the well-being of this city. To do this, they must be led with resolve, strength, intelligence, and integrity. There is no doubt in my mind that Karl Lieb is the chief this department and the city needs and deserves. It is just a coincidence that Karl and I are both from Minnesota. I promise a love of the Vikings wasn't pre-qualification for the job, but it certainly didn't hurt to have some fun talking about it. What was a qualification was a love for this city and for the great institution of the Salt Lake City Fire Department. Besides his 20 years of experience in a variety of roles, anyone who has worked with Karl can attest to his spirit of dedication to this profession. Karl loves the tradition. He loves the people he works for and is always looking for ways to make both stronger. Karl understands that tradition is something to build upon, not cling blindly to. He seeks to enhance the service function of this department, recognizing that as our city evolves, both in terms of our demographics and physical layout, so must the fire department. I am truly grateful to Karl Lieb as he answered this call to serve, and I know the people of Salt Lake City are in good hands with him as chief. Karl, do you want to come forward for a minute so I can say a few things directly to you? A few weeks ago, you were standing where I am today, swearing in a class of new recruits. Besides the standard oath to faithfully execute their duties to the best of their ability, you asked these new recruits to remember this day and to remember why they joined the fire department. You asked them to hold on to their passion, and if they felt it waver, to find a way to recenter themselves. You made clear being a member of the fire department was a job for someone fully invested. As you raise your hand today, I ask you to take that same extended oath, to remain fully invested, not simply to the title, but to this city, and most importantly, to the people who will serve under you. Remember, you are standing here today because we all have every confidence in your ability to lead this proud department into a new era. Now, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Karl Lieb, do solemnly swear and affirm
I, Karl Lieb, do solemnly swear and affirm
to faithfully and honestly perform all my duties
to faithfully and honestly perform all my duties
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
to uphold and follow the high standards and values
to uphold and follow the high standards and values
of the Salt Lake City Fire Department,
of the Salt Lake City Fire Department,
and to protect the lives and property of the public
and to protect the lives and property of the public
that I am sworn to serve.
that I am sworn to serve.
Congratulations. Let's get out front. Very good.
Thank you, Mayor. You're welcome. I appreciate those kind words. I'm honored to have your confidence in my ability to lead this organization. Thank you. Wow, to everyone. Friends, family from out of town, firefighters and colleagues. I appreciate you coming here this afternoon to show your support. It's very touching. Thank you. Several people have asked me why we're sitting here in the bay of a fire station. It's a good question. It's a little chilly in here. It doesn't clean up real well. It smells like an automotive garage. And I don't recommend touching any of the walls on any side here. But when I think of the fire service, I think of this surrounding me up here at the podium. And when the public thinks of the fire service, I think they think of this right here. And frankly, when our firefighters think of the fire service, this is also what they think about. This is our brand. These are the tools of our trade. The firefighters convene here in the bay. They check the equipment here in the bay. They prepare to go on emergency response right here in the bay. And they take these rigs out. Sometimes it's 7, 8 times a day. Sometimes it's 17 or 18 times a day. And then they return. And they do it again the next day. This is the job. And this is where I started the job 20 years ago. When I came to Salt Lake City, I didn't know anything about firefighting. I was a police officer in the state of Montana. I was driving down roads. Sometimes I had to look for cars. But it was time for a change. That wasn't for me. I came to Salt Lake. I love the city. But I didn't know anything about fighting a fire. And I had no idea what it took to commit to this job. I certainly couldn't take a plug. I couldn't raise a ladder. I could barely pull a hose. I couldn't get my pack on quick enough. Initially, I had to work on it over and over. It takes a commitment to stand here and wear this blue uniform and wear these uniforms. And I'm proud to be a leader of this organization. I learned to trust the people that I work with. I learned to watch, and I learned to trust in my own abilities. Now, 20 years later, I stand before you. I'm entering another episode of my chapter in my career. I'm going to have new responsibilities, new expectations, and I'm going to rely on those same things. I'm going to trust the people I work with. I'm confident in my abilities, but I'll continue to learn. I want to establish a foundation for Salt Lake City where the organization can move forward. We are a department that's capable of many different things. I want to stay focused on our core services. I want to train on fire suppression, multi-hazard mitigation, and emergency medical response. I also want to be responsive and part of the solution to some of the challenges that Salt Lake City is seeing right now regarding community health and the homeless situation. I also want to take care of our own. I think we need to develop a more comprehensive firefighter support program that actually looks at the impact that this job has on our people, both mentally and physically. This is what I want to accomplish. I believe that the greatest asset any public safety organization has is its people. That being said, I stand before you as some of the most committed, some of the most in tune and caring individuals that I've had the luxury to work with. I want to thank my executive staff, specifically Deputy Chief McMicken, Assistant Chief Baldwin, and soon to be Assistant Chief Stedman. But you all make this possible, and you make it run, and you care. I want to thank my family. You know, when the job takes its toll, you come home and your family is there, and everyone in this room in uniform knows what I'm talking about. Michelle, specifically, my wife, you don't tell me what I want to hear, you tell me what I need to hear. And I can't thank you enough for that. The firefighters, thanks for putting it on the line every day. I spent a great deal of my time the last couple months just talking to the individuals that I've grown with in this department. I've let them know how much I appreciate what they've done and what they mean to me. I can't possibly thank all of you right now as I stand here, but I will mention a few. Firefighter Chris Bluth taught me how to be a firefighter. Jack Tidrow. Jack, you demonstrate every day why integrity is so important to this job. Captain Ginger Bearclaw. Positivity and pride. That's all I need to say about Ginger. What a role model. Chief Chris Garcia. Chris, you made me a better captain. You delivered critical feedback, and I listened to you. My predecessor, Chief Brian Dale. A work ethic that I'll do my best to emulate. This department is well-staffed, it's well-equipped, it's well-trained. We're also in tune to the city's initiatives of diversity and sustainability. As I told many of our firefighters this week, this organization is big enough to be prominent in the region, if not the nation, and we're small enough to actually make things happen. I'm humbled to have this opportunity to lead, and I will not take it for granted. Thank you.
Well, thanks everyone for coming. That concludes today's ceremony. For those of you who would like a word with Salt Lake City's newest fire chief, Karl Lieb, by all means, talk to him, and we have a few refreshments in the back of the room for you. Thank you very much.